Kia ora tātou. I once saw in a teacher's classroom a sign that said there's no such thing as an unimportant day. I think that's generous. I maybe would have thought there's no such thing as an unimportant minute or an unimportant moment. Now, how does that apply to this session? Well, this session is probably the one that some people will find it's a watershed session where so many things start to fall into place about the how of teaching. And so this is where we are going to go in this session, is we're really going to pick up on some of the pedagogy, some of the teaching strategies that you can use in literacy, but you can also use in any other part of the curriculum. We start off by looking at the DAOT, the Deliberate Acts of Teaching. And so if you follow through in the PowerPoint, you'll see the link to the curriculum where you can have a look at those. Now, I don't know what you think about these. I think they are very expository and that most of them are about teachers doing the talking. And yes, it is true that you do need to explain things, you do need to direct, but a casual look at these may give you the impression that that's what the main thing is that teachers do. And so it's really fortunate that we've got a range of other resources for you to have a look at. So if you go to the curriculum, page 34, and have a look at the 7 principles in the curriculum, that really brings some balance to the DAOT. And then also go and have a look at the MOE article 1997, which is on stream, page 272. Now it's got a section there, just a quarter of a page, about thinking about teaching strategies. And I think they are invaluable personally, something worth looking at. And we've also got a page on the PowerPoint from Tompkins. This is on slide 6. Now, what you may find is that those page numbers relate to the older edition and not the current edition of Tompkins. So the strategies are still worth having and worth keeping there because they're the sorts of things, particularly designed for literacy teaching, that you may want to be bringing into your teaching repertoire and also into your assignment, and more about that later. So then what we do is we have a look at the second of our approaches to reading and writing, and that is shared reading and shared writing, and have a look at the references given on slide 7 and follow those up. Also go and have a look at the article by Hood, which is on stream, Hood 1997. It's actually includes shared writing and guided writing. It's a very brief piece. And read through Burns as well. Burns is mainly about the strategy, the pedagogy of questioning, and there's so much information about questioning there for you to get your teeth into. I think you've got to remember why you are wanting to know these things. You've got to be thinking about, why do you need to know about all of these strategies? What difference are they going to make to you as teachers, and in particular to your students as your learners? And so there are additional strategies for you to look at on scaffolding, questioning, and think alouds. They come up as you work through the guide and the slides. I just want to talk just for a moment about the table for 3 strategy, the table for 3 activity. This is where you imagine that you're in a restaurant and one of you is the wait person. Just notice how PC we are here. And the other 2, or however many other people, are the diners. And right from the outset, Everything must be in question form. And any person that makes a statement has $1 added to the bill. That's for each statement that they make within the 5-minute period. So everything must be conducted in questions by every person, including the weight person. I shouldn't confess this, but I will. I actually went out with a group of people and we tried this for real, and I can tell you that it really, really, really annoyed the real weight person. But try it at home. It could be a great way of annoying the people in your bubble. Okay, now then what we do is we take a brief look at the assessment strategies. The slide's got some information that will lead you into the next semester in terms of strategies, in terms of assessment, because that's really the focus of the second paper in literacy. But the other thing we want you to notice is that the importance of having a strategy in mind when you write your success criteria. You need to ask yourself, how am I going to gather data? How am I going to gather evidence for the success criteria that it has actually been fulfilled, that has actually been met? Now, just basically, we suggest at a very basic level that you think of 3 different modes, that maybe you look at observations. That's a really obvious one, isn't it? That you will be looking at what the kids are doing. But noticing is not as simple as you think. It can be subtle, it can be powerful. So observation, then there's conversations. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, that would be talking to kids and listening to kids as they talk to you about what they have learned and working out, have they met the success criterion from that conversation. And then the third thing is to have a look at the artifacts, what they've actually produced in shared writing. This may be, or guided writing, this may be the text that they produce, but it might not only be in the form of text. And in other curriculum areas, it could be a whole range of artifacts that they are producing. The forum task this week for you, there's only one, and that's to complete the shared writing plan. And you'll see on that plan that there's the teacher moves on the left-hand side, and it's divided up into 3 parts. And then on the right-hand side is the purpose, the justification. And so to simplify it, we've said the left-hand column is the what column, what am I going to do? And we'd hope to see in that left-hand column some of the strategies that you've met maybe for the first time, or reviewed or refreshed in the work that we've done in this session so far. And then in the right-hand column is the why. Why am I using this strategy? What kind of learning will it result in at this time, and why would it be better than any other strategy? So looking at the purpose of the things that you're actually doing in the lesson. So also ask you not to overlook the Caring for Birds and the directions PDF. There's no posting required, but we've asked you to have a look at that in terms of thinking about a think aloud. How would you construct a think aloud to get across the message of that you wanted, like the teaching, the learning that you wanted to develop from a piece of text like Caring for Birds? Now, why is this relevant? Well, it does come up in your assignment, and so there is some relevancy there. But of course, it's not all about assignments. It's bound to come up in your teaching life as well, if it hasn't already. So look, now you're pretty much ready to begin this assignment, unless you want to wait for next week's topics, which are the learning experience approach, and also persuasion, and you'll see that persuasion is also, or could be also, relevant to the assignment. So we can talk a bit more about the assignment in the Zoom sessions coming up. So I just want to acknowledge, Maria's shone a powerful beam of light on planning issues in both of these sessions so far, on LOs and LIs and SCs in particular. And so I thought that I would leave you with my contribution to understanding LOs and SCs and planning. And just remember, M&M had to start somewhere.
What's wrong with the plan, teacher? Freaking acronyms, don't let them beat you. I think the SCs are a feature of learning outcomes that just won't reach you. Over here, yeah, we still got behaviorism. Children living in a mental prison teach today in a straight-laced way. There's the AO and the WALT, and the teacher has the same. But if you only have love for a single genre, try to get it down before the cracks upon you. And learn the skill of deconstruction while trying to avoid the system's suction. Yeah. Madness is what you demonstrate. And if planning just makes you irate, man, you think your LO's gonna set it straight? Plant a seed to germinate. Let your soul gravitate to the LO. LO, y'all. Students sweating, students crying, students worn out from their trying. Can you practice what you preach, or will you just go out and teach? Papa Graham, help us, send some guidance from above, because planning got me thinking, where's the LO? The LO, the LO.